Hello. Happy Tuesday. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing good. Kids finally went down and are quiet, so I had about 15 minutes here, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get a little bit of prep work done for dinner for Dave and I tonight. I needed to make this up ahead of time, right? I always feel like I need to make it ahead of time, so join in with me. We're gonna do some Pesto Chango. Feel like a wicked witch today. No, anyway, not Presto Chango, pesto. I'm gonna make some pesto, guys, so if you are interested in what I've got going on here, you need to just keep watching. Guys, it's Jan. I'm coming to you like I said, live. I love to do this, so if you are getting on here with me live, and if you can see a red live up in the corner, I'd love it if you would type live in the comments. Let me know where you happen to be watching from. If you want to, you don't have to. If you're catching me later on, it'll say was live up there. You're catching the replay on Facebook. That's great too. Just type replay in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning from. If you're new to following me, just type new in the comments. If you don't know if you're following me and you want to follow me, tap my face. There should be some dots up there and you can follow from there, I do believe. And I think it says something about follow, see first. You'll never miss one of my lives. You'll get notified every time I go live. So that's a great way to make sure you don't miss any of my lives. Hi, Debbie. And my name is Jan. I live in Southeast Nebraska. We're a little on the cooler side today. It's been overcast. We caught a little rain last night. Yeah. And possibly some storms rolling in tonight. So we'll see what the weatherman has in store for us. Hi, Sandra. So, like I was saying, I just had a few minutes here finishing up my protein shake for lunch. And I had more lunch than that. But I like to boost my protein, so I threw in a little extra protein. Kind of like my dessert. That's fine with me. So I'm going to be making some pesto. We are trying a new recipe tonight. Dave is always sending me recipes. So if you guys think that I find all these recipes on my own, you are sadly mistaken. That man can find recipes like no other. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching this, but it's a fact. If I hear my phone dingle dingle when I know he's not doing a whole lot, he is on TikTok, he is on Facebook Reels, he is on all kinds of stuff. And he sends me messages with a video or a copy of the recipe. So he has a lot to do in what I do on here. I'm not going to lie. So he sent me a few the other day using different ways to use spaghetti squash. And so we're going to try a new one tonight. I'll let you know how that goes. And as always, guys, you know if it's good, it's going in my group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. I love sharing that stuff over there. It's an extra page that I have on Facebook. It's called Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. Do you have to be diabetic to be in there? Absolutely not. I am not diabetic and I run the show over there. But he is. And I know how we struggled to find our way, to find recipes, to really do. So that's why I share over there, because we have found supplements that have helped us absolutely phenomenally in a lot of different ways, mentally, physically, emotionally, you name it, it helps. We just do these duos every day, and you know, I do collagen and a few other things too. But if you want information on those duos, guys, because I'm telling you what, they've changed our life. Blue banner. So let's get on with the show here, okay? Like I said, I'm trying something new. Pesto is one of the things. Pesto is something we don't use a lot of. And my son is the culinary guy. So when Dave sent me this, I was like, oh man, give me a good pesto brand. And he said, Mom, there's just not a whole lot of pesto that's sold in the stores that's worth it. He said, you remember one other time you went through this and you made some at home? And I went, yeah, I kind of do. It's a lot better. So that's kind of, you know, I feel like if we cooked more things at home, our taste buds would crave the richness of the things that we make at home. So that's what I try to do. But today I'm going to be making a low carb keto type pesto, and you're welcome to join in. Okay. So like I said, guys, if you're just popping on here with me, please drop live in the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Judy, I don't remember if I gave you a shout out, but hello. What have I got? I have got a couple cups of basil in here, okay? I went to the store to buy basil because I don't grow too many of my own things like this. I should. I have the garden space. I really should grow my own. But I loved that this came right here from Nebraska. I don't know if you guys can read that. Pleasanton, Nebraska. I know where that little town is. Amazing. I loved it. Sprout House Herbs. Nebraska Spice. I love it. So I was not afraid to buy this, okay? And to this jar, now I am going to try a little bit of something different. This should go in a blender, but I'm going to try my immersion blender today, guys. So don't dog on me if this fails and I have to dump it over into my blender to get it done. But anyway, I'm going to add some minced garlic. You can mince your own, guys, if you want. I'm terrible about garlic. If I buy it in the cloves, I feel like I always forget it. And then I don't know, whatever. So, I think I'm going to have to throw this one in the garbage. It's about empty, but I put some minced garlic in there. Now, in with the pine nuts. Okay, guys. Hi, Debbie. I've got some pine nuts I'm going to stick in this jar too. And I've got some grated Parmesan cheese. Now, guys, I do grate my own. I've actually been noticing a lot of Parmesan. I don't buy that green label stuff that's not not refrigerated. I'm not gonna lie. Cheese is supposed to be refrigerated, in my opinion. My Parmesan cheese is refrigerated, and it sure doesn't take much to get out a grater and grate it up, okay? I do that with most of my cheeses. I have been noticing, let me grab it out of here. This is feta, but I've been noticing a lot of grated Parmesans and things like this, and I really need to read. Hey, Matthew. I really need, Karen, how are you guys? Terry, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for saying hello. I really need to look at the ingredients because, why I shred most of my own cheese, all of my own cheese, is because of the fillers that they coat the shredded cheese with. I don't think Parmesan molds because it's so aged, so I don't think it molds quite like the cheddars and those softer cheeses. So they coat those softer cheeses with a lot of read the label, okay? And you'll never buy pre-shredded cheese again, okay? And I was looking at this too because it does have some stuff on it. It's an anti-caking agent. Cellulose, I don't know. Hey, Terry, thank you for sharing. Hi, Amy, how are ya? So, I don't know. I'll probably just keep buying my Parmesan like this because the ingredients in this is cultured milk, salt, and enzymes. It's Parmesan cheese. Okay, guys? So, anyway, enough of my rant here, okay? So I'm going to try to mix this up just a little bit, guys. I don't know how this is going to work, but I thought this wouldn't be quite as noisy. Okay, not doing too bad. And not doing too good either. I don't know. I might have to put a little bit of my olive oil in here, even though my recipe doesn't say to do that quite yet, but it needs a little moisture. So, tell you what. Now I'm going to measure out my olive oil and add just a little bit of that in there. So I'm going to put some olive oil in this, guys, and get it going, and then I'll add the rest later. Olive oil, oh dear me, I'm about out. I better get this on my grocery list. I have done some lives on olive oils and good ones to use and all that good stuff. So, you know, guys, anytime... Facebook only keeps my lives around now for a month, which is fine. I don't look for anybody to go back through and scroll through my lives a whole bunch and all that stuff, but much better. But, you know, I love giving the information out, so I have been redoing some of them since they're deleting them, because it's like, well, there might be people out there who are just finding me who need the information that I'm throwing out there. So, like I said, I try to touch on things that are healthier, more natural, all the goodness that God gave us on this earth. All right, we're getting some green stuff going on here now. That's what we're looking to do. You know, we used to eat a very highly processed diet, and I can't believe now that we don't use that diet, how much better we feel, how much inflammation is gone. And the products that we take help a bunch with that too, I'm not gonna lie, guys. All right, so we've got some good chunkiness going on here. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more of this olive oil in there and go at it again. So guys, this is how simple it is to make some of this stuff that we just don't think anything about. You go in, you grab it off the shelf at the store, and you think, oh yeah, this is no big deal. But we don't look at all the ingredients. We don't look at the processing process. That's what scares me. I share a bunch of information over in my group. I try, you know, I don't share a ton of it here, but like vegetable oil and canola oil and some of those things that they try to tell us are healthy for us, the seed oils. Do yourself a favor. Do a Google search or whatever search engine you want to use. I'm not going to be pro Google here, whatever. You use whatever. And go in there and type in, what are the steps to make, let's just say, canola oil? Because they say that's supposed to be so healthy for you, right? Well, if you look at the steps that go into making canola oil, guys, it's sad. It's just really sad. Whereas olive oil is about 3 or 4 steps, and that includes picking the olives off the tree. Okay? Some of those seed oils, it takes up to 12, 13, 14 steps, and they bleach it because it's gross. They say it looks like motor oil. And, you know, good for you, Terry. And I've heard people say that's actually where a lot of this came from. Is they were trying to make oil for motors and came up with this and thought they could bleach it out and pass it off for us humans to eat. I think that's kind of rude, don't you? So, smells wonderful. Oops, I got to get some salt and pepper in there before I go getting that out of there. Guys, this worked really good, okay? Worked really good. I've got homemade pesto to go with our new thing, our new recipe tonight. I'm going to get a little bit of salt in there. You guys know what kind of salt. Anybody can tell me what kind of salt you need to be using? Drop it in the comments. Drop it in the comments. You know what? That's what I should do. If you can answer my questions be the first one to answer a question on my live when I ask what kind of salt should you use. Gave me an idea. I may have to start sending out little gifts to people who can say and answer those questions on my live. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, you got Jan thinking now, folks. Salt and pepper. Give it a whirl. And we're going to be done. So, this is how simple it is, guys. Yes, I could have gone to the grocery store, plucked a jar of pesto off the cupboard or off the shelf and had it. And then my son would have said, Mom, I don't know why you bought that. You should have made it. It always tastes better when it's fresh anyway. Right? Right. So, made my own. It smells wonderful. I wish you guys could smell this. I am not going to lie. It smells fantabulous. And, you know, I find those, I look at those and it's like, they look so good, but I've got my own here. Smells fantastic. You want to smell Italy? You need to be smelling this. Okay, so I am prepped now for tonight. We're going to do a spaghetti squash with chicken breasts. Like I said, I'm trying a new recipe. Sea salt is good. Yes, it is, Terry. As long as it's good sea salt, okay? Pink Himalayan salt is another good option, okay? The sea salts, as long as they have not been processed, okay? You don't want them processed. That's the big thing. You know, like I use this one. There's other brands out there. Yes, there are. This one comes right from Utah here in the United States. Think Great Salt Lake, okay? And it's an ancient coarse sea salt. This is the one I use in my grinders. They also make a shakeable one too. So I love this. Lots of vitamins and minerals lots of minerals in there. Hi, Peg. Thank you for sharing. Lots of minerals in there that our bodies crave and need and love. So, you know, salt kind of takes a bad rap because of that blue jug that is nothing but stripped down sodium chloride. So, pesto, guys, I will get this recipe up in my group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave, as soon as I can. I'm hoping the weather holds out. They're predicting severe storms for us tonight. I'm just hoping it holds off till after daycare's done. There's nothing worse than having severe storms with the daycare kids here. Hey, Vicky, I hope it's nice in Florida. But like I said, I'm going to get on out of here. This recipe will be going up in that group, Diabetic Eats with Jan and Dave. If you're not in there, drop group in the comments. I will get you a link to join. If you need information on those duos that I was talking about earlier, and if you missed what I was talking about, go back and watch from the beginning. The ones that have saved and or changed our lives and possibly saved them. I ran across a picture today, and it was almost scary. The two of us, where we were with inflammation and dinner plate face and just in a bad spot. So I hope you guys will join the group. And if you need info on the duos, drop duos in the comments. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peg, I gotcha. I know. I think it's going to be south of us mostly, the really severe stuff. But, you know, sometimes the winds and the hail are way worse than the big twisters, too. I don't know. I don't like severe storms. I'll be taking a few extra of my my wonderful portion of the duo that helps calm my nerves and keep me down, because these do help a lot with my nerves and my nervousness around the storms. So enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I hope it's fantastic. And remember, smile, pass that smile on, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.